Welcome to my channel. My name is Lizabeth, and today we are going to unbox my month 11/12 Optavia box. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lizabeth, and I am living in the light by documenting my weight loss journey, and I'm using Optavia's 5-in-1 program. As part of my program, I eat 5 fuelings that come to me in my monthly Optavia box. And I also eat 1 lean and green meal that consists of 5 to 7 ounces of lean protein and 3 servings of lower carbohydrate vegetables. And you can find lots of my lean and green recipes in the Lean and Green with Me playlist and scattered throughout my YouTube channel. Before I open up this box, let me invite you to just scroll down a little bit, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like this kind of content, that you want to see more unboxing videos, because I'm going to keep on going. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would just subscribe, notification bell on or off, totally up to you. But that way you can get my videos posted on your YouTube feed whenever I have them. And also I would be so honored if you would share my videos with your friends and family who are trying to lose weight no matter what program they're on. Those lean and green recipes especially are helpful and healthy no matter what weight loss program you're following, or if you just want healthy recipes. But if you would share those, share them on Facebook groups. I can't self-promote, but there's nothing stopping you from promoting me. So hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and let's unbox my Optavia box. While I'm going through my box this week, before I open it up, I did also want to say that I'm going to include some questions and answers here. I promised to do a Q&A video, and I just haven't gotten around to doing that, but I thought instead of just unboxing again, I would throw in some of the questions that you guys have asked me, comments that you've made over the last 6 or 7 months that I've been doing these videos. So I will throw those in here as well. But let me open up the box and start unpacking. One thing that's super important to me is to make a plan. And most of you have seen my monthly plan, my weekly plans. So one thing that I do when I get ready to place an order is I take a blank month, my blank monthly plan, and I fill it in with all of the fuelings. So I know that, like, my first fueling of the day is usually a bar. Sometimes it's hot chocolate, sometimes it's a couple of other things. And so I fill in my fueling number 1, then my fueling number 2, and so on throughout the whole month. And that way I know how many boxes of bars I need, how many shakes I'm going to need, how many, and I base that on what I have left in my stash and what I'd like to have. Now, in order to have a full month, you need to order between 22 and 23 boxes, and that will give you 154 to 161, I think is the math on that, fuelings, which will cover a whole month, because if you have 30 days, you need 150. If you have 31 days, you need 155. So 22 boxes is not quite enough for a 31-month day, so you need 23. So I usually buy 23, but I was also gifted a lot of fuelings from a couple of different people. So I actually, my last 2 orders, I've actually only ordered 17 boxes, and I've spread them out to 6 weeks. So I've now used up, or by the time I get through this box, I will have used up most of those gifted fuelings, and I'll be back to putting in full orders every month in order to make it work. So with that being said, before I pull out my first fueling, I will say, so Michelle Havner, 2675, had asked me, how do you plan on transitioning and maintaining your weight loss once you reach your goal? And my plan is to follow Optavia's transition and maintenance plan. So with transition, it walks you through several weeks of adding specific things back to your diet, also increasing from 1 lean and green to 2 lean and greens and stepping back 1 fueling, and then you increase to 3 lean and greens and stepping back to 3 fuelings a day, so that to maintain, you're still eating 6 times a day, but eating 3 moderately sized meals plus 3 snacks, more or less. You can stick with the Optavia fuelings for those 3, or you can choose some real food options as well. So that's my plan. I hope to hit my goal by October, so we'll see how I'm doing by then. But so far so good. So the first thing that I do usually have are bars, and so let me see if I can pull out most of the bars that I have. And the peanut butter chocolate chip bar, this is the chewy one, and I really love that one. I also got 2 frosted cinnamon spice crisp bars. These are the ones that taste kind of, to me, they taste like the brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tarts, because that's my favorite Pop-Tart. I have other bars in here too, don't I? Yes. The other one that I always get, 2 creamy double peanut butter crisp bars. So you know, those are just always going to be in my order because they are my absolute favorite. KK Hill had asked me about, she had commented that she wasn't aware, and speaking of the bars, of the sugar alcohol that was in the bars, and her body is sensitive to that. You do, if you're starting Optavia, make sure that you are aware of your food sensitivities. There is a product information sheet which will let you know if you're allergic to soy, if you're allergic to dairy, if you need to be gluten-free. It will tell you what products have those items. It's a pretty extensive list. And then you can also find the ingredients for each fueling on the website, so you can look to see, go over that with your coach, and make sure your coach is aware what your food sensitivities are, so that you can look specifically for those things. It's a Merry Life had asked me also about, first of all, she had asked for a shrimp taco recipe, which I got you covered. I've posted that. I think I actually recently did that one on my channel, so you can look up the shrimp taco recipe. It's a chili lime shrimp tacos. But she also asked about approved Optavia recipe books. There are no approved Optavia cookbooks out there. You can find some cookbooks on Amazon that say Optavia, 5-in-1, lean and green, but they are not Optavia approved. They may have ingredients in them that are not Optavia approved, so please choose very carefully. You know, I try very hard to make sure all of my recipes that I put on my site are 100% 5-in-1. I try to provide the counts and the nutrition ingredients elements for all of my recipes that I do, so that you can be aware whether you are on Optavia or not. And but do be very careful. Now, cookbook, I've had so many people ask me to do a cookbook. Super expensive to publish a cookbook, but I think I might be able to do some type of an ebook, and I am working with a fellow coach, Sarah McClintock, to put some things together. So shout out to Sarah. I've been sending things along to her, and I think we're gonna probably work together to try to put together something that would be available probably as an ebook, but stay tuned on that. So breakfast things, maple and brown sugar oatmeal, I got 2 of those, and I really love the oatmeal, and I know a lot of people are not crazy about it, but I got 2 of those and 2 of the apple cinnamon oatmeal. I did not like the original oatmeal, but this new stuff, I could seriously eat it every day. I use a thermos, I put about a cup of water, maybe a little less than that, whisk it really good, seal it, and within a couple of hours, it is an amazing breakfast fueling. Speaking of product revisions, they have recently revised both the chocolate chip and the golden pancake, and you guys have heard me say I'm not crazy about the revisions, but I do like to take them and combine them with other elements to make muffins and biscuits and things like that, waffles. So I got a box of the golden chocolate chip pancake and just the plain golden pancake, just so that I can do that. And I won't eat them as plain pancakes or waffles because frankly, they're just freaking dry. Don't like them, and that's that. Dot 7146, my friend in Florida, asked me about exercise or movement, and frankly I've been a little terrified to add too much movement, and that's just because I have so much weight to lose. I am now past the 2/3 point, closing in, you know, I've lost almost 3/4 of the weight that I need to lose, and So at this point, I can probably add exercise in. I do need to just start thinking about moving more. I haven't done that. If you are on the program and you're trying to lose 20 or 30 pounds, maybe 50 pounds, they will say hold off on movement for the first 3 to 4 weeks, and then you can start adding that back in. I had 150 pounds to lose. So you can see my hesitation. After I was on the program for about 6 weeks, I did get on my recumbent bike for a few times that week, and my weight loss was like 0.8 of a pound, and that made me a little sad. So I stopped and my weight loss went right back up again. So it's because it's such a calorie deficit, you don't want to burn so many calories that your body goes into starvation mode. So kind of keep that in mind, be very watchful of how much movement you do. But yes, you can and you should add in healthy movement. And I promise you, I really am thinking about it. I just have been a little scared because I really want to get this weight off. So the next thing that I have, a couple of lunch type fuelings. I still have a lot of potatoes that were gifted to me. And I love the potato. I do that at least every other day. But I did get a rustic tomato herb penne, which is pretty darn good. And then the wild rice and chicken soup, I also really like that one. People are divided on both of these fuelings. I happen to like them both. Connie Ludwig 9223 asked me about collagen and biotin. I have recently added those in. I bought both of mine from Thrive Market. Youth Theory is the brand of the collagen. I just bought the tablets this time, but I did find out that it is okay to add collagen peptides to your water or your coffee. You can add up to 70 calories, according to my coach. You can add up to 70 calories for something like that, collagen. So if you are concerned about loose skin, collagen is a great thing to add into your diet. And let's look at 2 other things. I ordered 1 box because I have extras right now. Usually I do 2 of the peanut butter shake and 2 of the chocolate shake, but this time I just ordered 1. Somebody asked me, let me see if I can find, MEB4142 asked me about turning shakes into pudding, and I will tell you that I have tried at this point. The peanut butter shake, or I've tried the peanut butter shake, but the shake, I tried mixing it with a 1/2 cup of water, just like you would for pudding. It does get thick, but it doesn't get as thick as the pudding does when you let it sit in the refrigerator. The soft serves, the mint chocolate soft serve and the coffee soft serve do work as pudding, however. So if you want to do one of those and have coffee pudding or have mint chocolate pudding, that 1/2 cup, froth it with your little frother, and that makes for a great pudding. I did also want to address Lisa Bracken, who asked me about the pancake fueling and why I added it to some of my combinations. And that is because it has baking properties. So it will add that raising agent to something. If I want to combine it with a shake, say, and make a waffle, like a peanut butter waffle, I do like to do that, or a chocolate waffle, that works really well. Or to make it into a muffin to mix with. I have done the chocolate chip pancake and the chocolate chip cookie and made a chocolate chip muffin, or the chocolate chip pancake and the brownie and made a chocolate chip muffin. Both of them very good. If you want to find a way to have the shakes not as a shake, combining it with either of the pancakes is a great option. I've also had lots of comments about my kitchen. First of all, yes, my countertop on my island is a high island on purpose for a couple of reasons. One, I like the leverage for rolling out pie dough, which I'm not doing right now, or like making rolls, and having that higher instead of bending over. So it is intentional to help me to stand up straighter, and it just takes weight off of my back. As chesty as I am, leaning over, not the greatest idea. My sink countertop and the other countertop that you see behind me on the right hand side when I'm doing my lean greens, it's got my KitchenAid and my coffee maker and stuff on it. Those are both regular counter height, but my island is higher. The other reason why it's higher is I don't have standard cabinets, as you can tell in my kitchen, that you can see that one garage storage cart. That's exactly what that is like you would have in a garage or a shop. And then my kitchen sink is a workshop bench from the same company, Seville Classics. And it has a hole cut out and it has a sink dropped in. On the other side is a rolling cart, shop cart. And then under my island, there are 2 of those carts as well that I can pull out. All of those would give me additional counter space, lower if I needed them, or a table surface if we needed that for some reason. But in order to get those carts to roll under, it also had to be higher. But honestly, I love the height of it. And so it does make me look short. Well, I'm not very tall, I'm 5'4". But that's why my kitchen is that way. I designed my kitchen when we built our house to be intentionally commercial, very simple, and I'm just not a traditional kitchen cabinet fan. And I just wanted to have that particular industrial commercial look in my kitchen. Also, lots of comments about my rabbit tiles. My friend Susan Lawless, we commissioned her to make those for us. You've also seen some of her rabbit sculptures in some of my videos. One sits next to me on my reality check videos. That's the very first one that I bought from her. I think it's the very first one she sold, and I won't even tell you how much she sold it to me for because it's a lot less than what she sells them for now. But Just Average Pottery on Facebook and YouTube, on Instagram, if you want to look her up. She is a fabulous potter, not sponsored, but I would love to throw some business her way. She does a lot more than rabbits. She's got beautiful pottery. So check her out, Just Average Pottery, both on Facebook and on Instagram. Okay, before I show you the last few things, Kathy Butts Arnold had asked me, what are some responses that I tell people when they ask me to take a bite or a taste that's just a little off plan? First of all, say, no, thank you. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. And I'm learning that. Of course, I'm almost 58. It's okay to say no. And you don't need to explain yourself for why you don't want to have something. But you can also say, I'm really focused on my weight loss program right now. And this is another reason why I live in the light, so that I can say this because everybody knows that I'm doing this. I am so focused on my plan. Eating that, even tasting that is going to remind me of foods that I used to love very much. And I'm afraid that's going to derail my progress. And I don't want to do anything that's going to cause me to get off program. That's it. That's enough. That's all you have to say. Let me show you the sweets that I got. My last fueling of the day could be a chocolate chip cookie. I got 2 of those. And yes, I have 2 boxes of the brownie because I happen to now like to use the brownie. I don't usually use it by itself, but I will mix it with a shake, or I'll mix it with something else to make a delicious recipe. I also like the chocolate fudge pudding. That one is excellent if you mix it with one of the pancakes to make little cake squares. I've got a great Fun with Fuelings video for that one. If you have any of the cinnamon cream cheese swirl cake, it also works mixing that and making cake squares with that. Definitely give that one a try. Mary Louise 5288 asked me how much water do I take in daily. 128 ounces, so that's a gallon. I will do 1 40-ounce bottle between fuelings 1 and 2, 1 40-ounce bottle between fuelings 2 and 3, and then I will divide the last 48 ounces throughout the rest of the day. I try to get most of it in before 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon so that I'm not up all night peeing. But do the best that you can with that. Sheila Hahn had asked me about the pizza casserole recipe, if she could substitute cauliflower rice for zucchini. Yes. Most of the vegetables you can swap one for another. Just use that vegetable conversion chart. If you don't want to use a cup of zucchini, use a cup of something else. Half a cup of peppers, half a cup of mushrooms. The vegetable gratin recipe that I have on here is the spaghetti squash gratin recipe from the Optavia recipes or Optavia app. I just substituted different vegetables. So just make sure that you're using equivalents. If you are baking something, and I talked about this in the quiche recipe, the vegetable quiche recipe that with the spinach crust, and I think that one is actually coming up. It'll be out before this one is posted. That one, I did talk about how it's important to cook your vegetables if they're going into a casserole or an egg dish, because if you don't, they're gonna release water into the eggs and your result is gonna be soupy. So sometimes pre-cooking those vegetables is important. So my last two things are not fuelings, they are snacks. The olive oil and sea salt popcorn and the sharp cheddar and sour cream popcorn. Snacks are not fuelings. Fuelings are not snacks. They are different. You can have one optional snack a day, and that can be the popcorn or the puffed snacks. There's a ranch one and there's a sweet and salty one. They have smaller amounts in the bags. So if I'm gonna go for something, I'm gonna do popcorn, although I have tried all four of the snacks. I will also say that I do a snack maybe 2 or 3 times a month. This is only the second time I bought either one of these popcorn, so I've had one of each of all four in the past. So in 11 months, I've bought 4 boxes of snacks. And I don't do other snack things. You can, and that's totally fine. I just choose not to do it because I don't need it. And to me, if they say optional snack, that's optional if you need it. And so every once in a while I do. So I do try to keep some on hand just in case for those days when I'm a little bit hungry. The other thing that I will use a snack for, and this is not, I don't know that this is Optavia approved, but it works for me, and I don't do it all the time. It's maybe again, once or twice a month, where if we're gonna go out, if we're eating with other people, and I know that the time of that meal is going to be pushed a little later than my next fueling, I will have a snack kind of in the middle of that to give me an extra 30 minutes to an hour, just so that my blood sugar doesn't drop, so that my body doesn't think that it's starving. And so that's what I will do with that. Again, I don't know that that's Optavia approved, but I don't think that it would be frowned upon, but you check with your coach and see what they think about that as an occasional way to push off a fueling or a lean and green meal. Lisa the Lamac, I guess I'm saying that right, 3564 had asked me about what lean and greens freeze the best, and I would say any of them. I have not made a single fueling single lean and green that doesn't freeze. And I've done soups and stews and meatloaves and turkey burgers and all kinds of casseroles, things with dairy, things without dairy, and they all freeze great. And then reheat. I reheat a lot in my air fryer because I don't have a microwave. I will use a microwave when I'm at my son's house. That does help. But that's my answer for that. And then before I finish, let me talk about the cost of Optavia, just so that you can keep something in mind. People do say that Optavia is expensive. You are spending $500 roughly, maybe a little less, for a full month if you are on the Premier plan, which gives you a little bit of a discount and free shipping. $500 does sound like a lot, but I would challenge you to go back and look at your grocery bill for the last month. Everything that you've spent on food, whether it is at the grocery store, at a restaurant, at a convenience store, at Starbucks, any food that you've spent, add all of that up and look at about 80% of that, so divide it by 0.8, and see how that compares to $500. Now keep in mind, this is just my husband and me, but I have done cost comparison, and we are spending less right now at the grocery store, plus my Optavia box, than we were spending before. So for us, it's actually saving some money for me to be doing Optavia than if I was not doing Optavia. All right, that's it. That's my Optavia box. Those are my questions. If you've got new questions, leave them in the comments box down below. I will start compiling questions and do another Q&A. Maybe I'll try to do it once a month or every other month. I'm going to be on this program for a little bit, so you've got more videos to look forward to. Please try new fuelings. Let me know about your favorite fuelings. Make sure that you share this video with friends, with teammates, with other people who are interested in losing weight or who are on Optavia. Share them on your Facebook groups. And until I see you next time, please live in the light.